I've seen lots of people recently doing some bodyweight squats out in the park, out and about, and there's a lot of quite bad form going on. I'll go through a few demonstrations of the wrong thing to do, see if any of them look familiar. I'll just turn side on so that you can see me more easily. A lot of people tend to really arch the lower back in their bodyweight squats. They sit themselves back too much here, they crane back through the neck, and they overwork through the lumbar spine. You'll see then people who do the opposite, and they tend to round through their lower back, and their bodyweight squats look more like this. You'll also see people who do their squats with their legs really far apart, and again, that tends to overarch the lower back. You also can't sit down too far in that position either. So with a bodyweight squat, it's finding out where to put your feet is one of the things I think people find quite tricky. Generally, you want them to be about hip distance apart, perhaps shoulder distance apart, something like that. As you're folding into your bodyweight squats, basically you want the knee to go forwards at the same speed as the hips going back. If we don't do that, we tend to over-hinge at the hips, you don't get so much movement through the thigh. It ends up looking more like a deadlifting action. You're not really working at the knee. So we want the knees to go forwards, the hips go back, and we end up nice and balanced. If you find that when you're doing your bodyweight squats, you've got your arms way out in front of you and your head pulled back, again, it's because you haven't let the knees move forwards. A lot of people are quite frightened to let the knee move forwards, so you might want to start with some wall squats to make sure that you've got the strength and the support around your knee joint, so that as you're folding down into your squat, the weight is nice and centered through the feet, the knees are bent, the hips are bent, you're really well balanced, not having to hold the arms out in front of me for support here. So go and practice your wall squats first, then go out into the parks, practice your bodyweight squats, and just see if you can play around with some of those ideas until you're in a much more balanced and more effective and efficient position.